Hello and welcome to Locator Gaming. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to play a game on Tabletop Simulator. This is actually a demo of a game. It's the Earthborne Rangers demo. I kind of got interested in this game because I like LCGs. You've probably seen Arkham Horror LCG on my channel. I've had Lord of the Rings LCG from when it came out, Marvel Champions. And this kind of has a little bit of that type of expandability in it. Hopefully it does well enough where they will expand it later. And I also, in watching some videos, get a little bit of a kind of a Seventh Continent-y vibe where you can kind of just go anywhere and interact with the cards and the world. There is going to be a mission that I've seen on some of the videos and an overarching story mission, but you can just go and do whatever you want. So full disclosure, I have read the rules, but I'm not like an expert on either the rules or Tabletop Simulator. So if you see something that I get wrong in the rules, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would like to know. I'm still trying to learn more about this game. And also, for full disclosure, I currently have backed the Kickstarter. As of this recording, there's a couple of days left. The videos looked kind of fun, but when I saw that there was the Tabletop Simulator demo, I was like, let me actually try and play it for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I don't really know how long this video is going to end up being, and I may chop it up into a couple if it gets too long. So inside Tabletop Simulator, they give us a copy of the demo rules and the demo campaign guide. So I'm just going to go to Setup, and I will zoom in once I get to the right page. Okay, here we go, Game Setup. So set up the player areas, place your aspect card, roll card, and universal action reference card in your play area, and draw your starting hand. I'm going to play one-handed, just true solo. I'm going to play this ranger on the right here. So normally you would get to build your ranger, you get to pick your role, build your deck, pick your aspect card, and your aspect card is this one here. And it tells you how many of each of these energies you're going to get every round. So I'm going to get 3 awareness, 1 spirit, 2 focus, and 2 fitness. And here's my universal action card. We'll zoom in. These actions are available to me all the time. They're available to everybody, the universal actions. So we need to shuffle our ranger card deck. And we had to draw an opening hand. So I'm going to keep my hand kind of on the rail of this fake table in Tabletop Simulator. Now I have not looked at this ranger at all. I looked through the deck of the other ranger a little bit. Enthralling, so this is just a 2 resource. Those 2 little swirly things on the upper left-hand corner are also resources for actions. Meticulous. Response, after you succeed at an awareness action, you may return this card from your discard to your hand. Okay. Comfortable solitude. If there are no active beings, soothe 4 total fatigue divided as you choose among all rangers. That's nice. Soothing fatigue will get us cards back out of the fatigue area. Orlin hiking stave. Gear, item, tool, tech. Use 1 stride to add a progress to a trail. That's nice. I can do a fitness test with those little swirly things. Strike 2. So that test was a strike test, and the number after it, the 2, is the difficulty. If it doesn't have a number there, then it's a 1. Strike out with your walking implement in an emergency to add 1 damage to a being for every 2 effort. If you fail, suffer an injury. Hidden trail. This is a feature and a trail. Play within reach. When you travel, if there are 3 per ranger or more progress on this card, you may travel 1 additional time after reaching your destination. That's interesting. Awareness plus compass symbols. Follow the obscure route to add present or progress equal to your effort. If you fail, discard this card. So that's a way you could travel 2 nodes, I guess, on the bigger map. That's going to take some more braining and figuring out how the game plays to see the value of that one. And another enthralling, another double, like fireball looking yin yang thing resource. I'm sure those have names, but I can't remember what they are from the book. little bit about the play area. This is the challenge card deck, the path deck we will build. The weather, landscape, and the mission card is in the area called the surroundings, and here is along the way. And each ranger has a within reach section in front of them and then their own play area. So those sections will become relevant when we're doing certain things on different cards and things. Okay, so that was draw starting hand. Select the lead ranger. I'm playing solos. That's fine. Shuffle the challenge deck. Let's just do that real quick. Shuffle the challenge deck. Okay. Set up the starting landscape. Okay, so we've got starting landscape, weather card, mission cards, build and shuffle the path, and then resolve a rival setup, and then place any counters or tokens as dictated by cards. I'm going to go over to the campaign guide now because for the demo, there's actually some instructions for all of those steps. So the demo start. This is our guide. I'm going to paraphrase some stuff. You have two choices. We're going to do a set mission, so 002. We're starting on the 4th day. So they're assuming we're a couple of sessions in. We've maybe completed 1 or 2 previous missions. And we've arrived at the village of White Sky, a collection of structures erected above the surface of White Sky Lake. Since you finished your previous day there, you recorded White Sky as your ending landscape. Put the White Sky landscape card into play in the surroundings. So a lot of this is already set up for you here in the demo. This is the White Sky card. One thing I am going to do though is I'm going to take the rest of these landscape cards and just get them out of the way. Just so if I'm flipping this over or whatever, I've only got one card there to deal with. So this is our current landscape card, White Sky. It's got the keywords water, structure, and trail. Upper left-hand corner, we need 2 progress per ranger in order to be able to travel away from this thing. This space to another space. Upper right-hand corner, that is the presence number in that purple box. And below that is also a storybook entry or a campaign guide entry. So we'll read that also. The concept art is actually kind of cool. So they've already got a good start on where the direction of some of these cards. There is an action on here. We can stroll doing an awareness test, and we can add heart symbols to increase our effort. So we can stroll the shores beside the towering parasols of White Sky to scout a number of cards equal to your effort. I'll talk about scout if I ever actually do it. Okay, so put White Sky landscape into the surroundings. Upon arriving in White Sky, you learned a young girl you met in the first mission by the name of Quizzy Voss has gone missing. You recorded the mission search with the subject Quizzy Voss on your campaign tracking sheet. Missions with subject attached to them affect specific people or places. So we put the mission card into play in the surroundings. We also have to find the Quizzy Voss card and put her face down under. And I'm just going to read through the rest of this. Basically, this says, hey, you can use weather cards, which make things more difficult or less difficult. We're going to have the downpour weather card. And then we're going to create the path deck. So for the path deck, we need waterfront and the White Sky path cards. And then we'll perform the initial setup on the back of White Sky and put 4 all-purpose tokens on downpour. So what did all of that mean? We got to find the Quizzy Voss card, which I think I saw in here earlier. Yeah, here she is. I don't want to look at it because I want to be surprised when I find her, what she does. I just saw the title of the card earlier. And this is our mission card. So this is the thing that we're trying to accomplish. Not necessarily just in this one play session, because we might go several days without being able to accomplish it. And we have to start over every day kind of too. So a search mission, if your current location is not a ranger station, when a feature comes into play, place 2 trail tokens on it. When you clear a card with a trail token on it, place that token on this card. And then when there are 4 per ranger or more trail tokens on this card, we read storybook entry number 100. So my overarching thing I'm trying to do is to get 4 trail tokens onto this card to move along in the story. And you know what? I guess we could look at the map. We are right here at White Sky. And this is just a small portion of the overall map. I think it was in the... Was it in here? Yeah. This lighter area is that map, and this is supposedly the map for the core set. of the game. So lots of potential. Okay, so we got Quizzy Voss. They've already got the weather card out here for us. So what this is going to do, it's going to come out with 4 rain tokens on it. You can see that bottom right of the card there. If a mountain card comes out of the challenge deck, then we have to do that mountain effect on the bottom. So we got the weather card, and then we had to build the path deck. So it suggests the waterfront cards, and then we need the 3 white sky cards. So I'm going to combine everything and then shuffle it and then move it to its spot right here. Now I always have a hard time pulling stuff out of these bags, so I'm going to just pull a bunch of dice out. I'm going to use these as markers for things, and I don't know if I'll need any harm, but okay, so we need an all-purpose token to mark that there are 4 rain tokens on downpour, and we also had to resolve the setup on the back of white sky. That's right. So let's just shuffle this a couple more times, and if we look at the back of white sky, that box on the bottom is the setup. It says draw a path card. So we will take the first path card, see what it is. Okay, it's a being, it's a mammal, it's predator and prey. Upper left hand corner, when it's red like that, that's how much damage it can take before it is discarded. Upper right hand corner is that presence number. That'll have lots of different impacts on the game that I'll go through. I think I understand most of it from the rules. If you fail an action while you're interacting with this being, move it within reach of another ranger. This thing basically has a whole bunch of different impacts when you do a check, and we'll show that. But one important thing when this comes out of the path deck, in the upper right hand corner, just to the left of that purple box, there's a down pointing yellow triangle. I couldn't remember triangle for a second there. That's going to tell me where this is going to come out. So that means that it comes out in the within reach area of the ranger who drew the card, just in case there's multiple rangers in the game, multiple people playing. If the arrow was pointing up, the path card would be along the way out here. So it's kind of an important concept that, say me on my turn, I wanted to interact with a card up here in the surroundings. Everything here and along the way and everything here and within reach is in between me and there. So they might get in the way and they might cause me some fatigue. Same thing if I wanted to interact with something in this area here along the way. Anything in my within reach area here is going to be in between me and that. So it's going to fatigue me a number equal to that purple presence number. Fatigue and drawing cards is kind of a clock, because if you ever go to draw a card, either because you're fatigued or whatever other thing tells you to draw a card, and there's no cards in this deck right here, then your day is over. So we go through doing turns. If there are multiple rangers, we would do, turn, 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 turn. I think, I saw Team Covenant and they were doing turn, 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 but I thought I read in the rules that it's just kind of like take turns. But turn, 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 turn would, back and forth would make more sense until somebody rests. And you're going to be using up your energy tokens to be doing actions on your turn. And when you're done with energy tokens and you have nothing else you can do on your turn, then the round is over and you get your energy tokens back. You might take some fatigue if you're hurt. You draw more path cards. It's kind of like drawing the bad guy cards in Arkham. Can't remember what they're called now, but the encounter deck. The encounter deck cards, but they're not all bad. There's some good stuff in the path deck too, from what I saw in some of the other videos. Okay. So now we have to decide what we want to do. Oh wait, actually, so that's just set up. So now we actually start playing the game. So I'm playing the game. the first thing you do in a new round, and this is a new round because we're just starting, is draw path cards. So each ranger would have to draw a path card. So we're going to get another one of these out and see what it is. Artel Fisherfolk. See, this is a friendly character. So a friendly character, see, he's got that yellow triangle that's pointing up. Oh, the story event. I didn't read the story event for White Sky. We got to remember to do that. That yellow triangle that's pointing up, or gold triangle, whatever you want to call it, means that Artel is going to be out here in along the way area. And he has the keyword friendly. And I read this in the rules earlier. With that keyword, his presence doesn't, this character's presence does not fatigue me if I try to interact with something past it, in a zone past it. Persistent, it'll stay on the board if there's any progress on it. Now this character could either be removed from the board by taking 3 damage somehow. Sometimes these friendly characters can be damaged by other creatures or things on the board. Or it could be cleared with 2 progress per ranger. And I guess we just interact with it. There's a universal action that allows us to interact with beings to get progress on it. And if you look down at the bottom, kind of where it has those the clear keywords, if this card is cleared because of damage, we have to read 222. If this card is cleared because of progress, we're striking up a conversation with Artel, and then we would read story entry 223. So we might want to add progress to this to read a story event. You know, something cool could happen. It's not really part of our main mission, but it's another little side thing that you can check out. There's also an action on here where we could fish with Artel if there's a water feature in play. 1 ranger soothes 2 fatigue, and then add a token to each food card. I don't even know if I have any food cards. Okay, so that's interesting. So we've drawn the path card, and then we just go to the ranger turns, I think. Yeah, ranger turns. So now we get to start doing stuff. Well, our main mission is to get trail tokens off of feature cards, but we did not get a feature card into play. I also don't want this guy to be doing a whole bunch of interacting with me, I don't think. Well, let me look at my cards. Maybe I have this hiking thing. Maybe I should just play cards. Orland hiking stave, whichever. I can add damage to a being. I think the first thing I want to do, well, how do I exhaust this thing again? So I could exhaust it, you know, turn it 90 degrees. If it's exhausted, it won't trigger off any of its things. It's kind of like making the card blank, sort of. However, you can still interact with exhausted cards, I think. So if there was like an action on there, even if it was exhausted, it's not technically blank, because I think I could still interact with actions on there. But what I'm thinking in my mind here is, how do I exhaust that thing? With awareness plus the swirly things. It's an observe X test, or action. And the X is equal to the presence of the card that I'm trying to interact with. So that will set the difficulty of the test. This Lutrinol has a presence of 1, that purple number in the corner. So if I want to observe it, it would be an observe 1 test, so difficulty 1. Yeah. Sure. I don't want to spend too much of my awareness, though, because I want to scout, I think, to try to find a feature to get some trail tokens. So that's what I'm going to do, this observe universal action I was just talking about. So it's an awareness action. I got to commit at least 1 awareness token, and then I can commit the fireball looking symbols on cards to increase my effort. I don't really want to go 1-to-1. So I'm going to play this card. It has 2 of those symbols. That makes my effort a 3 versus the difficulty of 1. That was established by the difficulty of the observed test, that presence of the thing I'm trying to interact with. Okay, so I pull a challenge card, and I'm doing a green awareness test. This action is a green test, so I'm going to flip this over and look in the green box. It's a -1. So my 3 becomes a 2. My 2 still beats the 1 difficulty, so I pass the test. And passing the test allows me to exhaust 1 being. So I will rotate this being sideways, and it is now exhausted. So this stuff is all used. Now we get to another meaty part of the game. When you do a action that has a test that you have to pull a challenge card, you look at this bottom symbol on the card here, and now I have to walk through the other cards on the table and trigger off anything that has this bird symbol on it. And there is a proper order, and it's in here somewhere. The way the table's laid out is kind of laid out to go in this order. So it's weather card, landscape card, mission card, and then you kind of walk through the zones back towards your ranger, is the way that I'm kind of picturing it. So it's the weather card first. We look at it. That's the mountain symbol, not the bird symbol. Nothing happens. White sky has no symbols on it. The search mission has the bird symbol. The urgency of the task weighs on you. Suffer 1 fatigue. Okay. Suffering a fatigue, we take the top card of our deck. We rotate it, and we're going to plop it down here into the fatigue area. So that does tick down the timer, because remember our deck is kind of also as a timer for the day. But there is ways of getting these cards out of the fatigue deck and into our hand. I'm not sure if there's ways to add cards back to your deck. I don't know that yet. So that was that one. And then we walk through all these zones back towards me. This one has a bird. If there is an active predator, exhaust it. And then we would add damage to this being, so we would add damage to Artel, equal to that predator's presence. Now it's cool that we exhausted the Lutrinol, because if we look at the Lutrinol, it is a predator, keyword at the top. But since I exhausted it, it's no longer active. So Artel's not going to take damage because there is no active predator. And also, since it is exhausted, it does have the bird on the bottom. It doesn't trigger either because it's exhausted. There are no other Lutrinols on the board, so it wouldn't have triggered anyway, but exhausting it still makes it so that it won't trigger. And then if I had any cards, like maybe some gear or something, I'm assuming that that can happen because it does say your area is the last area to check. I think it said that. Cards in your player area, yeah. So there must be cards that will have these on it also. But that's it. That's our first action. Now, I think I'm going to play this card. To play a card, it's not an action. It's in a different spot of the rule book, playing a card and action. The cards cost in the upper left-hand corner that many energy of that type. So this is a 2 focus costing card. It's going to come out with 3 stride tokens on it, and we're just going to use universal markers to mark that. So we will play this into our area, spend our 2 focus tokens. Oh, one thing to note about gear, upper right hand corner, there's 5 little boxes, and this is showing that this takes up 1 box, and we have a capacity on our character of 5 boxes. So if we play a card, I think my understanding is that if we play a card and we go over the 5, we have to shuffle around and discard cards until we only have 5 or less boxes filled. That's our capacity. We need a universal marker to show that this has 3 uses on it currently. And that's it. Since we did not take an action or perform a test, none of that other stuff on the board is going to fire. It's going to trigger off. Playing a card doesn't impact that. This token right here is our Ranger token. There are some cards that want you to have your Ranger token out there. So if we run across one of those, we will see how that works. Now I don't have any more focus to play that card. Oh. No, okay. I couldn't have used that card yet. I don't know about this Hidden Trail card. I might just keep it for the compass symbols. This is a feature and it's a trail. Enthralling. I don't think I'm going to be playing any other cards. So what other actions do we have available to us on the board with our Spirit token, 2 Fitness tokens, and 2 Awareness tokens? There is a Fitness action on here, but that would be to cause damage to a being. But the only being that I want to cause damage to, you know what, I forgot to read those story entries. The only being I wanted to maybe cause damage to is this one, and it's already exhausted. I don't want to cause damage to Artel. I don't have any more focus tokens, so I can't fish with Artel right now. But that would be a way to get cards from that Fatigue deck up into our hand. We can soothe 2 Fatigue. I do have a lot of awareness, so maybe we'll scout. But let's read the story entries. So we've got 200 for White Sky. It's almost bigger this way, isn't it? From your vantage point, you can see much of the southern shore of White Sky Lake, from the froth of rapids at the head of the Silverfin River to the mix of rocky promontories and pebble-strewn beaches that slowly curve around towards the opposite shore. Offshore, you see the village of White Sky. The entire community lives on structures reminiscent of massive parasols, broad, conical constructions made out of layers of forged carbon, layered again by solar panels. Rising up from the docks at water level, a spiral staircase wraps around the pole and links the platforms together. Several boats come and go from the docks. And then what was Artel's number? 220. Artel Fisherfolk. Ahead of you, a thick post rises out of the blue water. Perched atop it, a person with bushy orange hair wearing an oversized vest with bulging pockets is casting their incredibly long fishing rod into the waves. As soon as they see you, the fisherfolk reels in their line and flips their pole around, thrusting the base of it into the water. They push off the top of the post and use their fishing rod to vault to the shore, landing on the trail in front of you. Keep quiet now and mind yourselves. The fish are skittish enough today as it is. Okay. So now if we wanted to get progress on Artel, to get to that story point 223, I think that's where, I keep trying to use the mouse to move the screen instead of the WASD keys. I think that's where we would use, yeah, so spirit plus hearts is connect. Connect with the life around you to either add progress equal to your effort to a being or soothe 1 fatigue from any ranger. I've only got 1 spirit token and I don't have any hearts on my cards to add to it. So I don't know if I want to connect with Artel right now. Okay, so let's think again about the mission. We need some trail tokens. So let's do this scout. I don't have any hearts to add to it, but I can do that awareness test to scout some cards. So I've got 2 awareness tokens. I'm going to commit both of them. There's no number on this stroll test, so the difficulty is a 1. So I've committed 2 against the difficulty of 1, and we pull the challenge card, and it's a green test. So 0. So 2 to 1, I pass. And my effort was 2. I put 2 towards it. So it's saying I can scout a number of cards equal to my effort. So I can scout 2. And let's just double check scout in the rules. It's like drawing cards from the path deck, and I have to pick one to put into play. When instructed to scout, you draw a number of cards specified. You must choose one of those path cards to put in play. Then you can place the other ones either on the top or the bottom of the deck, both in the order of your choice. Okay, so now we're not done with this card. Remember, we got to do this mountain thing on the bottom. Let's move our tail over a little bit. So we got to pick one of these two. Lutronol Holt. It's a feature. So it would come out with trail tokens on it. When it enters play, we have to search the path deck and path discard for a Lutronol and put it into play. And then shuffle the path deck. With focus and hearts, we can coax the Curious Beast back to their lair to add 1 lure to this card. Then when this card is cleared, for each lure on this card, shuffle 1 Romping Lutronol into the path deck. So if we get a bunch of lure tokens on this thing, and there's a bunch of Lutronols out on the board, and then we cleared this by getting 2 progress per ranger, the upper left numbers, we could shuffle them back into the deck, get them off of the board. I take it you don't want a bunch of these things out, because every time a mountain comes out, which a mountain is out now, we're going to have to search the deck and bring another one out. I don't think we want that card. Tributary Stream. It's feature water obstacle. So this one, upper left-hand corner, has the ranger token symbol on it. That means that this card will clear. I can discard this card or interact with this card in a specific way with my ranger token there. It's clearing it is what that means. You clear it when the ranger token is there. At least that's my understanding. It's also an obstacle, so it's going to block me from interacting with cards on the other side of it. And then the actions here are ways to get my ranger token on it. Okay. This is the one I want to have come out. I do not want this card to come out, so I'm going to put it on the bottom of the deck. The scout action lets me do that. Okay, so this, oops, wrong button. This is a feature. So our mission says, when a feature comes into play, place 2 trail tokens on it. So we will take one of our all-purpose marker die and have 2 trail tokens on it. We want those trail tokens to move up here to advance our mission. So that's the end of the action. Again, the action that I took was this stroll action to scout cards. Now I got to deal with the mountain symbol. The weather card has a mountain symbol. Remove 1 rain token from downpour. Each ranger suffers 1 fatigue. If there are no tokens remaining, flip this card over. Okay, so this is going to go down there. There's now 3 tokens, and I have to suffer a fatigue. Okay, then we would look at white sky. There's no mountain symbol. We look at the mission. The trail grows cold. Remove 1 trail token from a feature. Well, that's a bummer. It just came out. So we lose a trail token off of that feature. Then we look at cards in here. No mountain symbols. This guy's exhausted, so we don't have to worry about his mountain symbol. Okay. Action over. So now I really want this trail token to work on our mission. Both of these tests have a difficulty of 2, that number in the brackets after the name of the action. I don't have any focus tokens left, so I can't do the bottom one, which it'd be nice to do that one. You know what, before I start doing more tests, I can exhaust this to add a progress to a trail. I'm going to do this. This is not a test, so I'm not going to draw a challenge card or anything. So I'm going to use one of the what's it called? stride tokens. Yeah, I'm going to use one of the stride tokens to add a progress to a trail, and white sky is a trail. Okay, I need another. This is progress counters. 1. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I want to move to another location, so if we look at this map, right now I'm at white sky. I could travel to Aatrox Mountain because it's connected by a trail. I could travel to Lone Tree because it's connected by a trail here and a trail along the water. And if we had more of the map, I could also travel to whatever is down on this path. So if I wanted to travel to one of these other spots, which creates a different path deck and would basically clear these boards, it would clear this and clear this, you have to get progress equal to this number up here. So it's 2 times the number of rangers. So I need a progress of 2 before I can travel away from this area. So I'm just trying to get ready to be able to travel. Like if a whole bunch of Lutronals come out, because I'm pretty sure that on this card there's something, there's a lot of stuff if there's other Lutronals that are, it's bad for me, I think. Yeah, I don't want them like ganging up on me and attacking me. To use this, I also had to exhaust it because you can only use it once per round. Those were for my test that I did. I just didn't move them. Oh, you know what? I have a power on my roll. Move your ranger token to a feature. That feature fatigues you. Oh, that's better than doing a test. Oh yeah, this is cool. My power is actually cool for this card. Now, it's too bad that other trail token went away. Because, oh, another thing about traveling. I think my understanding is that if there's an obstacle, I also couldn't travel until the obstacle was taken care of. But I'm about to take care of it. With my roll, I don't even need to do either of these actions to move my ranger. I can use my power. Now it says it's going to fatigue me. It has a presence of 0. I wonder if it's always a minimum of 1. When you rest, fatiguing keyword. That's not the one. That's the fatiguing keyword. I need the... Each card in the path deck has a presence value in the upper right-hand corner. Some game effects will cause cards to fatigue you. When this happens, if the card is ready, you suffer fatigue equal to the presence of that card. If it's exhausted, the card does not fatigue you. I don't see anything about a minimum. So it has a presence of 0. So I don't think it's going to do any damage, or I don't think it's going to fatigue me. Okay, so I'm going to exhaust my card. I'm using the roll ability. I'll move my ranger token there. And I believe that what that actually means, that clear, is that all rangers have to be there to clear it, but I'm playing solo. So I'm pretty sure I can just clear it now. So clearing it means that the card is going to be discarded. But what's important on our mission here is when you clear a card with a trail token on it, place that token on this card. So the trail token that was on that card while I cleared it now gets put here. And I need 4 or more of those cards to advance the story. And when a card gets discarded, I think things just go back to where they were. So what do I want to do now? I've got 2 fitness tokens and 1 spirit tokens. Let's look at our universal actions, I think, are the only things we can really do. The fitness action is to traverse. We could do that to add another progress to the white sky card, just to get it to the 2 that we need to be able to travel. And we have 1 spirit. Let's do the spirit test. See if we might have a fitness card or something over here. So what I'm going to do is this connect action. It's spirit, so I'll do the spirit token. Plus hearts, I don't have any hearts. Connect with life around you. There's no number after the word connect, so it's a difficulty of 1. So right now it's a 1-to-1. Probably pretty risky. This might not be smart. It's a yellow test, so we're going to look at the yellow box. Oh, +1. Cool. So 2 versus the 1 we passed. And we could either add progress to a being. So the first one, traverse, is kind of adding progress to places, it seems like. The second one is adding progress to living things, it seems like so far. Or we can soothe 1 fatigue from any ranger, and that's what I want to do. So soothing fatigue, we come to the fatigue deck. However many we're soothing 1. We take it from the top and add it to our hand. What is this one? Perceptive. The number of compass symbol thingies on this card is equal to the awareness energy in your pool. Whoa, that's cool. At the beginning of a round, I'm going to have 3 tokens there, so that is basically means that it has 3 of those compass icons on it at that time. Not a fitness card to put into play, which is what I was looking for, but we're not quite done with this check. We got the sun symbol. No sun here, no sun here. What does this sun say? They must have come this way. Move 1 trail token from a feature to another feature. There are no features out here, so there's no trail tokens to move around. No sun there, and this Lutrinol is exhausted. Now these little diamonds on the bottom right means that the challenge discard pile has to be shuffled back into the deck, and then we shuffle the deck. Okay, we've got 2 fitness tokens. I guess we'll just try to traverse White Sky. So now see this one, is it this one? This one does say at the bottom that X here is always going to be a minimum of 1. So we're going to have a difficulty of 1. We'll just commit both of our fitness tokens. So it's 2 to the difficulty of 1. Because this White Sky has a presence of 0, but it has to be a minimum of 1. And we draw a challenge card and flip it. It's a red test, so no change. 2-to-1 we pass. Okay, so what does it mean when we pass a traverse action, that first one? Traverse the nearby terrain to add progress equal to your effort to a landscape or feature. So our effort was 2 that we put forth. It could have been modified by this, but it wasn't, so 2. So we get to add 2 more progress. So now we have enough progress here to move on if we wanted to. So I don't have any more tokens. And I don't have any cards that I can play right now to do anything else. So I think the round is going to be over. So let's take a peek at oh, actually the round is not quite over. So I will choose to rest. So if you're finished taking turns for the round, you can choose to rest. You can trigger any effects that have the rest keyword, and then you suffer 1 fatigue for each injury you have. But I don't have any injuries. You cannot take another turn this round. So if we look at the round sequence, first we drew a path card, then we just took a bunch of turns. Now we have the option of traveling. Yeah, let's do it. Let's travel so we can just see another area. We didn't see a whole lot of cards from this path deck, but we might as well see another area. So after all rangers have rested, you can decide as a group if you'd like to travel or not. Traveling is how you move around the valley, visit new landscapes, discover people and places unique to certain areas. Each landscape card has a progress threshold displayed. Yeah, we did that. If you decide to travel, perform the following steps in order. Suffer fatigue. To travel, each ranger counts as interacting with the landscape. This means that ready cards between them and the landscape can cause them to suffer fatigue. So that's where I was talking about earlier. If there were any unfriendly cards in here or in here that were also ready, this Lutrinol is not ready, their presence would make us fatigue cards, take cards from here and put them over here. But there are no ready unfriendly cards in between us and the landscape card. Clear the play area. Discard all path cards in play and all ranger cards within reach along the way or in the surroundings, but not in your player area. Cards with a persistent keyword are not discarded. Oh, I should have done some progress on Artel. Artel would have been persistent if there was progress. Oh well. That's in the discard pile. So I think I'll throw in a cut here and clean up the board. I will get rid of this card and this card, and then I have to separate out this path deck back into the waterfront and white sky because we're leaving white sky. And I want to go to the mountain over here, Aatrox Mountain. So we're going to go along this path to Aatrox Mountain. So I'll throw in a cut here real quick, do some cleanup, and then come right back. Okay, so I got rid of all the path cards, and I actually put white sky over there and pulled out the mountain because I've already chosen my destination. So again, the day is not over. I just chose to do that travel. I did not have to do that travel, but I just chose to go see a different spot on the map. So we still have the same weather card. We're still on the same mission. We've just gone to a different place. So I did the clear the play area, chose the destination. You have to choose one that's Whoa, that's too close. You have to choose one that's connected on the map. Yeah. Find this landscape card and place it in the surroundings, replacing the current one. I did that. Build the path deck. To build the path deck for destination, combine number of path cards based on the terrain, any landmarks in your current location, any other cards added based on mission or other things. Shuffle the path deck. So I think with this, yeah, so we have to look at the map. Where's the map? So I traveled from White Sky to Aatrox Mountain, and I traveled on this kind of gray path, and it has this mountain symbol in it, which means I'm going to get this mountain set of cards. So in this demo, there's waterfront paths, mountain paths, and forest paths. And as of when this was created, there are 5 additional path sets besides waterfront, mountain, and forest. See, these are 3 of the 8 in the core set. Okay, so we've got the mountain cards. So we'll have to shuffle and everything. Let's go back to the rules. And then landmarks. Landmarks are the notable people and places you will seek out or discover on your journey. If your destination landscape is marked with a green underlined name on the valley map, it is a pivotal landscape. They have landmarks unique to them, and will have a number of landmark path cards labeled in that landscape's name. Add each of those cards to the path deck. So that's like what we did at the beginning. Because if you look, we were at White Sky, and it's got a green underline. It had its own deck of 3 cards. Aatrox Mountain is not underlined with green. It does not have its own deck over here. So I think there's like some random cards or something we're supposed to add, right? If your destination is marked with a brown name, no underline, it's general. Shuffle all landmark path cards labeled the valley and draw 3 to add them to the path deck. Okay, yeah, so we're going to get 3 random cards from this deck. 1, 2, 3. And that creates our 15 path card deck. And now we will shuffle those mountain cards in with those 3, oops, I did not mean to rotate it, with those 3 random valley cards. Okay, and then you could have other things that get added to the path deck. Check your current active mission if there's any arrival set up. There's not. To finish your destination, resolve the instructions on the back of its landscape card. Starting with the lead ranger, perform the first instruction, and then a different ranger the next until all the instructions have been. So since I'm playing solo, if there's more than 1 instruction on here, then I'll just have to do all of them. Yeah, there's 2. Search for the next obstacle, search for the next obstacle. Okay, so when you search the path deck, you're supposed to keep drawing cards until you find something that it wants you to find. Oh, this is a valley landmark card. Another friendly person. But we're not looking for those things right now. We're just looking for obstacles. Clinging fog. Okay, so there's 1. And fractal wire. Okay, that's also an obstacle. Nope. So because of these 2 setup instructions here, we were supposed to search for 2 obstacles. And then I think you put everything back and shuffled the deck, actually, when you search for something. If that's wrong, then I did that wrong, but I think that's correct. So let's take a peek at these cards. This is a feature. We know because of our mission, when you're not at a ranger station, and the Aatrox Mountain, I don't see ranger station anywhere on here. So, what happened to all of my universal marker dice that I pulled out? They're all being used, huh? We get to put a 2 trail tokens on it as a feature. And this is also a feature. The bummer thing is that there are obstacles though. So if we want to travel, we need to clear those. But hey, look, we've got a bunch of trail tokens that we can try to get over onto our mission, which is what we're trying to accomplish here. Let's take a look at the rest of Aatrox Mountain card here. And we've got a story event 520. This has a presence of 2, so a little bit different than the 0 that was on White Sky. We need 4 progress per ranger in order to travel away from here. We could do a fitness test with triangles to hike the steep and perilous trail to add 2 progress to this landscape for every effort. Oh, that's cool. Then this landscape fatigues you. That's not cool. Okay, before I forget, storybook campaign guide 520. Aatrox Mountain. During your training, Calypsa would jokingly threaten to send you on a patrol of Aatrox Mountain whenever she needed to provide you with some extra encouragement. Now, struggling up the side of the mountain, you can see why. The paths around Aatrox Mountain are a maze of narrow trails weaving between rockfalls and slopes of unstable scree. You see several Eryx circling high above, and you know that lurking along the trail there may be an Aatrox waiting to pounce. So there's something named an Aatrox that this mountain got its name from. Oh, hey, there's a campaign tracking sheet. Oh, we're searching for Quizzy. Oh, and we're on day 4. Oh, I didn't even notice that before. Okay, so that's the Aatrox Mountain card. Clinging fog is fatiguing. So fatiguing, when you rest, it does something, right? Keywords. Keywords fatiguing when you rest. Okay, so we're past resting. So let me go back to the round thing. Okay. So it's fatiguing. We have to move our ranger token here. Oh, cool. We have the ability to do this easy. Oh, if the sun comes out, if your ranger token is not on this feature, move it to this feature. This feature fatigues you. Draw a path card. So that's a good thing. If we draw a sun from the challenge deck, it would bring our ranger token here and help us clear it. Okay. Fractal wire. This doesn't seem like it's going to be friendly. Oh, did I put these in the right spot? Yeah, the gold arrow is pointing up, so yeah, it goes there. This is a feature that has to be damaged. Okay, so it takes 2 damage to clear it. It's an obstacle. Fitness test plus triangles. We do a pull test at a difficulty of 2. Pull apart the razor sharp vines with care. Add 1 damage to this feature for every 2 effort. If you fail, suffer 1 injury. All right. So all of this was all still set up. All of this was still part of the travel step that I chose to do, which again, I did not have to do. You don't do it every round. I didn't have to do it. I chose to do it. So it's this travel step in a round. Now I'm going to go to refresh. I'm assuming I have to be able to refresh now. Draw 1 ranger card. So while it's cool to get a card into our hand, remember this again is a clock for the day. Now the reason, my understanding at this point so far, why the day is important is I believe if the day ends, all of the tokens that I've gotten on my mission would be cleared. I kind of have to start searching for this person again anew the next day. So you're kind of in a race to accomplish this little 4 per ranger token thing on this card before something happens that ends the day. Either you get 3 injury or your deck runs out to the point where you cannot draw or be fatigued from it. Okay, too much talking. Let's just see what cool card we got. Trail mix. Uh-oh. 2 fitness. It's gear. Takes up 2 slots. It has a heart. Use 1 morsel to choose a ranger. That ranger soothes 1 fatigue for each fitness energy in their pool. So that won't, if I spend my 2 fitness, that won't help me now, but it could help me in the future. I've only got 1 fatigue currently, which is nice. Okay, so that was the first step of refresh. Now, I just want to make a small point here about, I've probably been playing for about 45 minutes-ish, 50 minutes. I'm doing a lot of talking. I don't think every round is going to take that long. Obviously, it's not going to take that long. There's a little bit of inefficiency playing on Tabletop Simulator. I can already see ways where if these cards were in my hand in front of me, things would be going so much faster. But I'm trying to do a lot of explanation of my understanding of the game, which could be completely wrong as well. So all that rambling, and I didn't even finish looking at this. Draw 1 card. There's no limited number of cards you can have in your hand. If you can't draw a card, then you're exhausted. You have to end the day. Yes. Reset your energy pool. So that's where I get my tokens back, and then ready all cards in play. Okay, so resetting your energy pool. We get our 3 green tokens, 1 yellow token, 2 blue tokens, and 2 red tokens. And we get to ready all cards in play. Now this is also where if we had not traveled and we were still back at White Sky, that Lutrinol that was right here, he would also ready at this point. So I'd have to deal with him again, or I could just let him be in my way and things trigger off him, but I probably would have chosen to deal with him. And then that's the end of the round. So then we go back to, so that was the refresh step. We go back to the beginning, draw path cards. So we draw a path card. What is this? Renkobo, Merchant. This is cool. That's another person from the Valley deck. You can see that at the very bottom of the card. It's from the Valley deck, where we got to choose those 3 random cards. He can either be taken off the board with 4 damage, or we could clear him with 4 progress. Both ways are clearing, just different ways of clearing. Friendly and persistent. Also, if we traveled, he would travel with us because he's persistent. Trade with the merchant. Oh man, I want to do this. Story point 140. I don't know what those are called. Campaign entry, story point. I just keep calling them all kinds of different things. It's almost bigger this way, isn't it? The man's broad face has been weathered by years of strong wind, and his eyes are surrounded by a forest of wrinkles from a lifetime of squinting into the sun. He pulls his hand out of the pocket of his long coat and thrusts it forward. Renkobo's the name, he says, in the drawl of a Messapian sea folk, You can see the sparkle of a gold tooth in his mouth. Traveling merchant and deal maker. Perhaps I can make a deal with you, or I can trade some stories for your company. I think we're traveling in the same direction. Ah, this is cool. Okay. He doesn't get any tokens or anything. And he's friendly. So, what I'm going to do, are there any cards I want to get out? Trail mix cost me 2 fitness. But I need fitness to deal with this card. So I don't think I want to use my fitness to play my trail mix. Unless there's a way that I can use something. No. I'm probably going to use these for the triangles on that fitness test also. Darn. I need like 1 more fitness token because I've only got 2. And I would take both of my fitness tokens to play trail mix. But I want to use those to interact with this fractal wire card. So what do I need to do to get progress on Renkobo? On a being like that, that would be the spirit test. Add progress equal to your effort. Spirit plus hearts. I've only got 1 spirit token with my aspects. And there's a heart on trail mix. Oh, do I use the heart on there for interacting with the merchant? Well, let's do first things first. For Clinging Fog, I just need to move my ranger token there in order to clear it. I'm pretty sure that's what that symbol means. I mean, I did that last place we were at. Clearing cards. Some features, instead of having a harm or progress threshold, are marked with a symbol of the rangers. These features are cleared when every ranger has placed a ranger token on the feature. When the feature clears, your ranger token returns to you. Yeah, okay. I did that right. So we're going to use our roll. We're going to exhaust our roll. Move your ranger token to a feature. That feature fatigues you. So we will take fatigue from this. We move our ranger token here. The Clinging Fog has a presence of 1, that purple number up in the box, the number in the purple box. So it fatigues me by doing it this way. But we clear it because all rangers have their ranger tokens here. And because of our search, we know that these trail tokens would get added to this card. So I'm just going to make this one a 3. And we'll move that marker out of the way. And this card is done and cleared. So that helped us advance our search mission. That's cool. Now, if we could clear this card, we'd have more than 4. I'm not going to be able to get to 4 progress on Ren Kobo. I also need progress on this, which is also fitness, plus triangles to hike to add 2 progress if I want to travel away from here. Fitness there. We've got 2 fitness tokens, which means we could do 2 fitness actions. I can use Stride to add a progress to a trail, and the mountain is a trail. But that card exhausts, my staff exhausts when I do that, and adding 1 when I need 4 and I can get them in even numbers already is not that efficient. This perceptive card gives me compasses equal to the awareness pool. Something had compass. No, I guess not. Well, I just want to try to clear this, I guess. Let me interact with this guy. Yeah, let's interact with him. So interacting with him to get some progress on him is the connect. So it's spirit plus hearts. We're going to play our spirit card. There was a way to soothe fatigue somewhere. Was it on here? No. Maybe it was on here. No, I guess not. I mean, other than interacting with the being, I could soothe fatigue with this test, but I'm not going to. So I'm playing that. Oh, it was my trail mix. See, these are the hard questions in these games. Do I set up, or do I just move forward with the mission? Because I could, I mean, that's, do I use this heart? Do I use this card for the heart, or do I use it for the gear? I'm going to set up, so I'm going to spin these 2 fitness to bring the trail mix out. It's going to get 2 markers on it. Okay, and now I can exhaust it and use 1 to soothe the fatigue. Oh, I don't have any fitness, so I can't soothe fatigue right now. That might have been dumb. See, that's what makes these games so good, are these decision points. Like, do I build or not? No, I changed my mind. I'm not going to. I'm going to use that for the heart. Let me get my fitness tokens back. Whoopsie, not the whole card. I'm going back to doing this where I'm going to do the connect action with a difficulty of 1 to add presence or add progress equal to your effort to a being. Difficulty of 1 against my 2, 1 token plus 1 heart. So and this is a yellow test. Hey, +1. That's cool. So this does add to my effort. My effort is now 3 versus the difficulty of 1. I pass. But the important thing here is that I add progress equal to the effort, and my effort became 3. So I get to put 3. That's not progress token. I get to put 3 progress on the merchant here. I just need 1 more to be able to clear it to do the trade with him. That's cool. Okay. Now we have to deal with this symbol. That's not on our weather card. It is on the mission, suffer 1 fatigue. It is on the merchant. On the merchant, it says if there's an active predator, exhaust it, and then we would add damage. So the predator is actually attacking the merchant. But there is no predator on the board. Yes, this is not a predator. This is like a bush or something. And we do not have that symbol anywhere over here. Okay, so that test is done. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use those fitness tokens to do the try to pull these vines apart and clear this. So we can do 1 damage to this for every 2 effort. So I want to try to end up with 4 effort. And knowing that there are -1s, I might try to get 5 on this. Oh wait, I got to get rid of this stuff. I can't get to 5. I've got 2, and I've got a triangle here and a triangle here. So I'm at a 4. A 4 to 2. So I need a 0 or a +1. Maybe I shouldn't commit everything here. You know what I'm going to do actually before I do this? It's going to make my test a little weaker, but I think it's going to take me 2 turns anyway, but we'll see. I'm actually going to play this card. It's going to cost me both of my focus tokens to play the card. Comfortable Solitude. If there are no active beings, soothe 4 total fatigue. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. I might try to add this as a note to talk to them about. This one seems like, oh, it's supposed to be Comfortable Solitude. You're supposed to be by yourself. Unfortunately, there is an active being, so I can't play this card. What I was trying to do was, I wanted to get all 3 of these cards into my hand to see if I got some more triangles. And I don't have Spirit. To I don't have any Spirit to add more progress to try to clear the merchant right now. Oh well, that's a bummer. I almost don't want to use this card for the triangle. Right? It seems better to get my fatigue cards back. And since I'm not playing that we get to keep our focus tokens, right? So you know what I do? I don't have a plan for my focus tokens this turn. So I think I'll draw a card. I'm going to use both my focus tokens. I shouldn't have pulled them back. Or actually, let me pull them over here because I'm doing a test. I'm going to do this, remember, difficulty 1. I'm not going to play any triangles. I'm not going to add triangles to it because I'm saving that for the other thing. So it's a 2 versus 1 to try to draw a card. And this is a blue test. Okay, I pass. So basically the action is just draw a card. So let's draw a card, see if we get anything interesting here. It is another triangle. Sweet. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So that was that action. Now we got to deal with the sun symbol. No sun on the weather. No sun on Aatrox Mountains. Sun symbol here. Move 1 trail token from a feature to another feature. We've only got 1 feature, so we're not moving any trail tokens around. Now that would have been cool before we had cleared that other one. We could have moved 1 from this one to the other one. That one would have had 3 on it, and then all 3 of those would have gone up to our mission. That would have been neat. Our friend here has the sun symbol. Add 1 progress to the landscape as Ren shares his usual routes with you. Well, that's cool. We get a progress on here for when we're ready to travel away. And we have no sun symbols anywhere else. So that's done. I don't know what the breakdown on the symbols is in the challenge deck, like how many. There's 24 cards, so I'm going to assume there's 8 of each of the symbols. That's just an assumption. Okay, so that was us drawing a card, and that was good because we got a triangle to help us on one of our other tests. And what I'm actually going to do is does it make sense? Maybe not. I'll just keep it for the compasses. I was thinking about putting a hidden trail out, but I don't even know if I need to travel an extra space. So this is probably a great card during the campaign when you know, hey, you know what? I need to get, say like I'm here at Aatrox Mountains and I knew I needed to get to Mount Nim. I could go 1, 2 and just in 1 travel action instead of needing to travel here and set up a new path deck and interact and everything and then move here. But I guess I don't really need to do it. So let's do this instead. Oh no, exhaust 1 being. Oh, that's what I could have done. So what I should have done, right? Yeah, what I should have done, I think, is the observe action on here. To observe the behavior of those around you to exhaust 1 being. I could have used my awareness tokens and even some of the fire on here. I could have observed the merchant to exhaust it, because I can still interact with it when it's exhausted, is at least what I thought. I think I read that in the rules. But then it wouldn't have been active. I could have used my focus tokens to play this card to recover all these. Yeah. Okay, starting to click, But now, since we got another triangle, let's do this fitness test here. Try to pull these vines up. So fitness, I'm going to use both my fitness tokens plus triangles, right? I'm going to use both of these meticulous cards, so I'm at a 4. Come on, pull apart. There we go. I'm at a 4. There are -1s. There's 1 -2 of each aspect. Man. See, now the question is just, do I commit this one? I'm going to do it because I want to try to just move the story along. So I'm at an effort of 5 versus the difficulty here is 2. Well, even if I get the -2, I would pass. If I get a -1, I would pass. It's just the number of damage. I'm trying to maximize the number of damage I can do to this thing to try to clear it on this particular round. No, I'm going to chance it. This card is too good to use it for the triangle. So we'll go 4 to 2. Quit hemming and hawing and pull the challenge card. 4 to 2. And we're doing a red test. Oh, yes, it's a 0. Okay, so I passed. My total effort is 4. Let's look at the card again. Add 1 damage to this feature for every 2 effort. My effort is 4. So I add 2 damage. And I wouldn't really need to do this, but I'm doing it just for illustration purposes. And what I'm trying to illustrate is now blocked by the die. Okay, so this feature takes 2 damage. Whoa, what's happening? 2 damage, the number in the upper left corner. In order to clear it, we put 2 damage on it. It is cleared. We cleared a feature. The trail tokens move to here. So we're now at 5. This obstacle gets discarded. So now there's actually a rules question that I don't know the answer to, because I still have this bird symbol to deal with on this card. But here, like, is the act of putting the trail tokens on here, I don't think my like action that I've done is completed yet. So I don't think I move on to the little bird symbol thing yet. So when there are 4 per ranger or more trail tokens on this card, we reach story point 100. I'm going to interpret this as we do this now, but let me know if I'm wrong. After hours of wandering the valley, following your intuition and the faint signs of Quizzy's passage, you might have found something concrete. The signs of recent passage through the undergrowth, then a little later, a faint impression of a footprint in the soft ground. Quizzy can't be far. Check the current day. If it's the 4th day of your campaign or earlier, go to 100A. It is still the 4th day. I have not completed the day. Well, see, so we had plenty of time, it looks like, to wander around and do other things. Like maybe I could have hung out with that fisherman dude a little longer at White Sky, looked through that White Sky path deck a little bit more before even moving on. 100A. As you make your way through a thick grove of pines, you peek around a fallen log to find Quizzy Voss standing at the edge of a bare patch of ground, poking at something with a long stick. Oh, hello, she says when she notices you. Look at this. Thankfully, Quizzy seems completely unharmed and unfazed. What do you think it is? She asks. It appears to be an exceptionally large orange-veined Calvatia mushroom. It quivers with every poke from Quizzy's stick, like it might burst at any moment. Your instinct is to draw Quizzy away. Then as you step forward, you notice a predator stalking the young one. Each ranger shuffles up to 3 cards from their discard into their deck. Okay, that's cool. So it's rewarding us a little bit for finishing the mission. What do we have in our discard? Ooh, trail mix. I've already got one of these in my hand, so I'm going to put trail mix and these 2 blue cards back into the deck. So that actually increases the length of the day a little bit. So let's shuffle that. We'll put this back into the discard. complete the search Quizzy-Voss mission. Add the rescue Quizzy-Voss mission. Flip the search mission card to the other side. Place Quizzy-Voss in play and attach rescue to her. Do not read her usual starting journal entry. Okay, so we've done this. It said flip this over, right? Rescue, forced response. After the being indicated by the mission enters play, attach this card to them. The attached being gains persistent, okay. The attached being cannot gain and cannot be cleared by progress, okay. Forced response, after you travel to a ranger station, we read 103. And it looks like a bird is going to be bad. The hunt is up. Search the path deck and discard for the next predator and put it into play. Oh no, and we've got a bird symbol still to deal with. Okay, but Quizzy is going to come into play. 3 damage, 3 progress, but we're not supposed to put progress on her, right? She's fatiguing. We're not supposed to read her normal journal entry. The little yellow triangle, I keep wanting to say diamond. The little yellow triangle means that she's going to be in this area of the board, along the way. Focus plus hearts. Answer her questions to add progress, but we don't add. Oh, it cannot be cleared. Just cannot be cleared by progress. We can still add. Why do we want to do that, though, if we can't read the story point entries? If there's an active predator other than Damocles, exhaust it. Add damage to this being equal to that predator's presence. Well, that's bad. That's about to trigger. Okay. We were in the campaign book, right? Add rescue. Do not. Quizzy must be taken to a ranger station, either Northern Outpost or Lone Tree. Search the path for the next predator. Okay, so we are here at Aatrox Mountain, so we want to travel to the Northern Outpost. Do we want to go via the mountain? Or if we put that other card out, we could go this way and go by waterfront or forest. What did this card say? After you travel to a ranger station. So we just need to get there. But then it said to search the path deck for a predator. Here we go. Circling Irax, being predator. And it's out here in along the way based on its triangle symbol. It's persistent, so it's not going to go away when we travel. So I think that's everything from the journal entry. Now, here's some interesting questions. Let's see what's going to happen. I think we still have to deal with this bird, right? So nothing here, nothing here. Not this bird, the red symbol here. But this one does have, the hunt is up. Search the path deck and discard for the next predator and put it into play. So we're going to get another predator. That's a feature. That's also a feature. Okay, so we got another one of these circling Irax guys. Those have to go back into this deck, I think. And we search, and then we shuffle. Okay. So that was that one. Now, when you have a bunch of bird symbols, or when you have a symbol in the same area, you get to choose what order to do them in. If this being is within reach and you have at least 3 fatigue, exhausted, suffer 1 injury, it's not. Those are the same, so those don't do anything. It's not within reach, it's along the way. The merchant, if there's an active predator, exhausted, add damage to this being equal to that predator's presence. And then Quizzy Voss says, if there's an active predator other than Damocles, exhausted, add damage to this being equal to that predator's presence. So both of these predators are going to damage our other characters. So the order that I will do these in doesn't really matter, I guess. If there's an active predator, there is. Unfortunately, we have 2 predators. We exhaust it, and our merchant is going to take 2 damage because the presence of this thing is 2. And then Quizzy also, if there's an active predator other than Damocles, exhausted. Damocles? I don't know how to say that. Add damage this being equal to that predator's presence. Okay. Another 2. There's nothing in our play area with the bird symbol on it. And this challenge card has the reshuffle icon on it. Everything needs to go in here to reshuffle. Okay, so we did the search mission and now we've got the rescue mission. I think this is a good place to stop this first video. I'm in an interesting spot now because Quizzy needs to be rescued, but she's got some damage. 2 out of 3. We do not want active predators out there. Yeah, we do not want active predators out there. But you know what? These things are persistent. How do you get rid of these things? Oh, we have to do that spirit test. No, that wouldn't even get rid of it. I don't know. So this is an interesting situation to try to figure out. I guess we just need to travel. We just need to travel. We just need to get her to the northern outpost. But like I said, I think this is a good place to stop for this video. And I am having fun, so I might actually record another one of trying to actually now rescue Quizzy Voss and get Quizzy to the 2A Ranger Station. Okay, like I said, if there's anything with the rules that I got wrong, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, I would appreciate the like and even a subscribe, or leave me any other comments about Earthborne Rangers. If you've been following the campaign, if you have pledged to it, and anything else. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this, everything else that I post on this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.